The reason Edgar Malroy would drop his trousers whenever he heard someone mention life having a purpose was because just after leaving Tewkesbury University, he had a piece of text tattooed on his left buttock. In 2023, the first of what would turn out to be a series of unusual murders took place, and Mr. Martin, a one-legged retired financial planning manager with cancer, was found by his milkman on his doorstep, beaten to death. Over the days and weeks that followed, a number of similar murders were investigated by police forces all over the world. All the murders seemed random and apparently motiveless, for no money, groceries or valuables were ever taken. People were just found dead on their doorsteps, as if they had been beaten about the body with an object such as a book. Police forces were baffled. The only clue was this: each victim was found clutching a copy of the Watchtower magazine. Edgar Malroy showed Sophia Alderson the text he had had tattooed on his left buttock, and they did not speak for 2 months. Then one fine morning, Sophia Alderson arrived outside the metaphysical betting shop wearing her sandwich board and holding the hand of a tiny Catholic priest. She looked even more beautiful than she had done before, Edgar insisted when he recounted the whole thing over and over to me years later. The tiny priest started sprinkling holy water from a watering can over the 35 species of wild flowers that grew in the grass around the church, and Sophia unfurled a massive scroll she had obviously made herself. On the scroll were the following words: "Betting is sinning." Edgar Malroy, who had just taken a £3,000 bet made by an asceticist from Dagenham that the denial of sensual gratification is a means of achieving spiritual awareness, a £68 bet from a Hindu that the Vedas contain all true knowledge, and a £48 bet from a former convict that God knows all of man's deeds and thoughts, ran out of the metaphysical betting shop and demanded that the priest make a bet or leave. When the priest refused to place a bet, Edgar threatened him with a giant question mark, which he kept by the door of the metaphysical betting shop for just such occasions. At this point, Sophia Alderson swore she saw the Virgin Mary ride by on a penny farthing, blowing bubbles. Edgar Malroy asked for Sophia to leave immediately, and for her to give him her telephone number. She did both. She did both because the Virgin Mary she had just seen ride by on a penny farthing, blowing bubbles, held precariously a sign which said, "Leave immediately and give Edgar Malroy your telephone number." The tiny priest with the watering can loved Sophia Alderson more than anything else in the world. He had fallen in love with her years before, when she had driven him from Richmond Road to Chiswick in a taxicab. She had told him of the end of the world, she told him the end of the world was coming. He had told her she had lovely ears. Then, when they were nearing Chiswick, he told her he would do anything for her. She said, "Become a priest." He tipped her and said that he would. Sophia Alderson was ridiculously beautiful. By the time all the ding-dong sevens were rounded up, quoting scripture wildly and lashing out with their blood-soaked Bibles, 12,720 people had been murdered on their doorsteps. 4 times that number had narrowly escaped death, and nearly 1 million more people had become Jehovah's Witnesses.